Hey YouTube, this is Evan Magician 34. This is my maybe my last video before Shonen Jump Championship Austin. It's gonna be pretty cool. Get to go to that. Being a Texas dweller, wouldn't miss it. This is my brand new playmat. Got it just in time for the event. Pretty freaking awesome. If you haven't been to my channel, then you probably don't know just how incredibly awesome this mat is for me. This is just one of my favorite pieces of artwork. So to get a custom out of this is, yeah, it's pretty amazing. It took me a while to get it, but yeah, got an airbrush artist to do it. It just, it's just the most kick-ass mat ever. Sorry if you're a kitty and you don't like that word, but anyway, I don't really care. Alright, Shonen Jump Championship Austin. I've tested around a lot of decks. I haven't been as pleased with what I've seen from Black Wings and the zombie deck. They lack consistency, and you get some really crappy hands when the monsters back up, which I realize is why you run the smaller monster count, but it happened to me enough in playtesting that I didn't really like it. On the Lightsworn deck, the luck element, I just didn't like it, and I've played around a lot in the meantime with what you can call it a variant of Perfect Circle. There was a time when Perfect Circle included fewer monarchs. Actually, it's including just 3 pretty much. But really, it's technically a Dark Circle deck. Somebody called me on that. I kind of got a little irritated, but technically it's Dark Circle, which refers to the interaction of monarchs and dark cards in general. When I say monarchs, I really mean just Kais primarily. But dark cards and destiny heroes, which are dark, but there's a special line of them, obviously, special archetype. So it's pretty much what this is. You could call it Teledad, but there's, you know, 1 Dark Arm Dragon, 1 teleport, so it's emergency teleport. So it's it doesn't really count as Teledad anymore. So anyway, I'm going to run through the deck list right quick. This is the deck I will be running at SJC probably. I'm going to hold the side deck until after the event, but the main deck is pretty much going to be card for card what it is. I'm going to run through it pretty quickly here. Stratos. I mean, if you're going to build a side deck specifically for me, that's pretty sad. Double Mally, Diamond Dude, Defender, Fearmonger. This is pretty well tested. It holds its own amazingly well against a lot of other decks. I wouldn't have thought that at first. Monk, Rose, because it's very Highlander-ish, as in it runs mostly one-ofs of cards. Armageddon Knight, Plague Spreader. But the funny thing is, all of them are very good search cards. Mystic, perfect example. And really, I can hit very consistently, Gale. Double Cribbins. I can actually hit very consistently the cards I want to get. So again, I haven't really had a problem with that, so Cyber Dragon, Dark Armed. So actually it's a very consistent build, which is strange, and consistency is something I've been kind of wanting in this format and haven't seen as much of, Kai's, in my playtesting of other decks. And this deck's not nearly as easily screwed up by an opponent with a good opening, or just like that, more specifically that one card that might mess your specific deck up. And it's a lot harder to side deck against, generally speaking. Last monster, Gores. Tragoedia was a near pick, but in playtesting I found that Tragoedia's ability to copy stuff and sync for virtually anything didn't really justify the fact that he was almost always too small to stop stuff. Picked Gores over it because it's easy to get a clean field these days, especially with a build that doesn't use any real continuous cards other than Call. And he has the power to stop a lot of bum rushes and onslaughts, especially from Lightsworn. This guy can buy you a lot of time, and the token, I mean, you can tribute and sync into stuff. Not to sync very often with him, but it is possible. But actually, most of it you're not going to see. So primarily, I just worry about the ability to tribute off the token and maybe Kai's through, do some damage that way. Anyway, Storm, MST, Brain. Mind Control, you do run a surprising number of tuners, so the Mind Control actually, I've never really seen it dead in my hand, and I've playtested this deck for weeks. D-Draw, and in pretty much the same form. There haven't been very many changes at all. Double Lure, Telly, Rhoda. Like I say, I myself was a little surprised, Double Book, at how successful it's been, but the consistency of the Winds, Vortex, and the fact that the deck is so versatile. And you basically rely on your Synchro deck more than anything to, well, your extra deck, but whatever, it's a Synchro deck, to consistently take care of whatever the opposing deck is. Picking the right Synchro monster at the right time is usually the difference between winning and losing, and you can hit your Synchros very reliably in this deck, turn after turn. Mirror Force, Torrential, Call, Solemn. I know some people are cutting Solemn these days, but Solemn is just such an amazing stopper. It's such an amazing power card. Just as much now as before, it's really crucial. Maintaining board control, that's what it's all about. And the fact that there's only one now makes it that much more effective because people are less likely to play around it. So they can actually play into your Solemn, which is obviously an advantage. Last two cards, double bottomless. That card's just so solid these days, I can't imagine not running it. Okay, Synchro deck. Not too much surprising here. Double Stardust. Red Dragon. Double Colossal. Yes, he's just that necessary, especially with Lightsworns everywhere. Thought Ruler. He's actually proven kind of useful against Blackwings, so I retract negative things I've said about him before. He's actually pretty useful. Avenging Knight. Once again, Lightsworn's the matchup where you want him, because Lightsworn's in defense mode, you're no longer scared of Honest. Basically, you'll want him over Colossal on occasions where they've just beckoned, and they just loaded their hand with the Honests and the Judges and they're trying to kill you. This guy is the upset because shift into defense kills virtually anything. So, Black Rose. Life Transfer. Picture over Ancient Fairy, because Ancient Fairy's 2100. Just not enough, and him sitting in defense mode, he's just a bullseye, and he'll get killed pretty quickly, actually. Yeah, he can repel Armed Wing, but the problem is he won't really be able to repel the Icarus attack that'll quickly kill him. He can't repel the Armor Master, because of course he'll kill him with a wedge counter. So the superior attack on this card, usually when you're thinking for 71, a little more aggressive power, and 24 meets a number of monsters head-to-head, so they'll be forced to sacrifice to kill her occasionally, stuff like that. Or you can at least suicide her. So she's the better choice, plus the 1200 life points. Decks are oriented toward dealing X amount of damage these days, so the 1200 can actually bail you. I wouldn't rely on it, but it can. And there's almost always a Psychic in the grave when she hits the field, so. Armor Master. Make him a lot, actually. Arcanite. Goyo. Gaia Knight. Tempest, surprise finisher, and of course, Magical Android, the classic Krebin's Plague Spreader plus Senga. And that's just a wonderful way to go. The deck doesn't really have a reason to run Gishel Nodon over it, because there really aren't any other ways you're going to send a small monster to the graveyard at the same time. It's very unlikely. Basically, the only other time you would is if you brought a 2-star in to sync with the Android to make a 7-star, or, well, the Gishel Nodon in that case. So it wouldn't be on the field to reap the benefits of going to 3000 anyway. So, yeah, that's the deck. And if you see me there, I will be using this playmat. So, say hey, give me a shout out, we can trade, we can play, whatever. Sounds cool. And I'll see y'all then, and if not, I will see y'all on YouTube. Rate, comment, subscribe, and enjoy. Peace.